Hello there, I'm Simon Rafe and welcome to Brown Bag Bible Study, the Bible study you can do in your lunch break. Now this is an introduction to Scripture, which will give you some information that you might not have known and encourage you to read the Bible. Now most importantly, it's presented in bite-sized pieces, perfect to fit in with our busy lifestyles. Now every week I'll be concentrating on a small part of Scripture, either one of the 73 books of the Bible or a group of related books. And I'll be bringing you interesting facts and information to help you understand it. And I'll also be including links to further reading, articles, books and so forth, which will help you learn to love sacred Scripture even more. This week, the Gospel according to Luke. St. Luke was a Christian Gentile, not a Jew by birth, and tradition tells us that he was a doctor. He was a companion of St. Paul on some of his journeys. He wrote excellent Greek, and his Gospel is full of precise historical details, which other Gospels lack. Luke dedicates his Gospel to Theophilus, although it is very likely this is not a real person. Theophilus means God lover, and this dedication can be understood in the same way as a modern author might write, Dear Reader. Luke specifically says that he is writing a Gospel as others have done, and he is seeking to write an orderly account. Now it is clear Luke spent a great deal of time in research and study, learning everything he could before composing his Gospel. And it's also very likely he was aware of Mark and Matthew's Gospels and used them when writing his. Luke's Gospel contains an infancy narrative as well as other details which would have come from Mary. Luke's Gospel is the most Marian of the Gospels, reflecting a strong influence of Our Lady. It is clear Luke spoke with her and received from her details of Jesus' life. This is hardly surprising, as tradition teaches us that Luke painted the first icon of Mary, the so-called Black Madonna of Czestochowa. When we read the Gospel of Luke, the themes we should focus on are the strong sense of the historical. Luke gives us many historical details which set the events most definitely in time, as well as the Marian influence. Another important theme is that of the suffering servant. Luke's symbol is the winged ox, a symbol of service and sacrifice. Now remember that oxen were sacrificed on the altar by the high priest of the Jews, and so this symbol highlights Jesus' dual role as priest and victim. The ox also signifies the important virtue of humble sacrifice as being necessary for Christian salvation. Now Luke's Gospel is the first part of a two-part work, with the second being the Acts of the Apostles. Now this is a historical text which we will return to later, but when you read the Gospel of Luke you will see similar historical accuracy and detail. Luke's Gospel has perhaps the most familiar style of all four Gospels for modern readers, as it contains many historical details and a strong narrative. So, armed with these insights, read the Gospel of Luke, and if you have time, read the additional materials which will help you grasp even more of what Luke was trying to say. Now next week, I'll be talking about the Gospel according to John. Until then, I'm Simon Rafe, and God bless. To learn more about the place of Scripture in the lives of Catholic Christians, I urge you to read Pope Benedict's Apostolic Exhortation Verbum Domini. The Pope encourages all Catholics to read, learn and love Scripture and to understand its relation to the Church. A link to this exhortation is included in the reading materials for every episode of Brown Bag Bible Study. Just click the link over there.